Hello and welcome to the Princess Blankets in Minecraft. This is going to be an introduction into what is in the pack for teachers, as well as how to sort of open a game and see what's inside the game before you load up the worlds. So here we have an Amazon page for the Princess Blankets. This is a book that is written by Carol Ann Duffy. And the premise of this story is that the princess is alone and the king tries to find ways of making her happy and warm. And so she meets a series of suitors that her king father presents to her, but she's never really warm. And there are a series of materials and processes that go through in kind of chapters throughout the entire book, until she meets a stranger, and the stranger produces a different type of warmth in the form of music, and he plays his music, and all of a sudden the princess is warm and happy, and the whole thing is a metaphor for love. And so in this story we produced a series of games based on the chapters of the book, and we had a quick introduction and a key to the world. And so the whole idea of this is that the children within the lessons focus on collaboration and really outstanding teamwork in order to be successful, because what they need to do at the end is come up with a digital product which is using the notebooks and note blocks in Minecraft Education Edition. And what they have to do to begin with is they need to work together to solve a problem. And the first initial problem is to get a key to the world. And the key to their world is within this image. Throughout the games, they have to use Gamepedia and the Minecraft section in Gamepedia. So they have to do a reverse search, and they have to find out what a reverse search is to start with. And they also have to use this image and find out what it is. And they have to find the numbers within this toy. And the reason they do this is because one of the key goals is discovery. So they have to go into three main character types, and that is a researcher, a player, and a discoverer, then an adventurer. And they have to change those modes throughout the games. So once they've worked this out, the key to the world actually tells them the order of the games. So as I just change my screen here, I can show you how the games actually look. So in different levels they have different games, different lessons, sorry, they have different games. So game 1, game 3 is lesson 1, lesson 5 is game 1, etc, etc, etc. So you can see within the games they all have boxes and chests depending on how they land within the game. So depending on how they spawn within the lobbies, you will see this in a second, their games will be directed from these lessons themselves. Within each lesson, let's go into lesson 2 here, for example. One of them is to get back to nature. So they have to do this because of the materials that's in the game. Each game comes with a different world, and each game comes with a game card, and within that game card they are guided through teamwork and collaboration, and within each section they are guided as to what they are looking out for depending on their role within each game. So really quickly take a look at what is in each game. This is a game card here, and it outlines which game it is, if they're going to be hosting a game or they're going to be collaborating around one computer. They're not always set free into every single child is in each world. Each world is dependent on the way that we would like them to collaborate and work together. And so they have their learning intention and their success criteria. And so what are they? A contributor, a connector, a collaborator, and how are they working together to imagine that they are global citizens. And this is a wider sort of assembly base. This is through the UN goals for environmental action. So what I'm able to do here is just zoom out for a second, and we're able to just have a look through the different cards that are available for each game. There are guides and there are tips and tricks. In each card, we don't sort of try and trip up the children. We actually give them support along the way. So the children, if they do become stuck, there are extra bits and pieces within the game cards themselves, and also what we call Easter eggs within the game as well. So there are Easter eggs within each card in order for them to be able to be successful. Because the game here, for example, this one is quite deep and extremely laborious, but there is a direct link to both the book and the UN Sustainable Goals. So this is where there is a forest fire, and the children have to also regenerate the entire world, and also populate it with bees which are in decline. So as we look through here, same situation. This time it's the oceans, and they have to clean up the environments, and they have to do this together, and there are also tips and tricks within the game themselves. So when they get to the final product, they have to really be a tight-knit team here, and after about 6 weeks, this project is a culmination of successful teamwork and true collaboration that children at a year 6 level can find challenging at times. In order to do this game and complete this game, they have to build a track which is going to give them a beat, a melody, and they have to alter this within a platform, and we will show you how this works in a second. So the final part of this introduction, before I go into the games themselves, is how do the children demonstrate what it is that they're learning. Well, they have this PowerPoint that you can go and drop into any service, such as Google Drive if you want to. It's perfectly compatible, because in the resource pack themselves, they're both PDFs, InDesign files, photos, quests, and also a teacher guide, which I'll show you in a second. The pages here are related to every game. So there's also an area for them to go and drop a screenshot, a video perhaps, some audio. They can go and show their workings, and each week they then have this journal of progression within their learning, and they can demonstrate exactly how they have worked together as a team, collaborated intrinsically between one another, and as well as being a good support group throughout the entire project. One of the things that one class did with this was they made this into a presentation at the end and explained what the key elements of true collaboration was and teamwork, and they did this through an entire presentation using this PowerPoint. So let's quickly look into the files that you have available. Here is the entire pack itself, including the clues for the students who find it a bit of a struggle, a bit of a challenge, and then all the resources here. So if we go through these tabs here, we've got 3D models that you're able to go and print if you wish. You're able to go and demonstrate this to the children on the screens in your class, and demonstrate to the children what it is that they're going to be making. All game files are here. These are also both in PNGs as well as PDFs. So if you want to go and get this as a PDF, you can do. The PowerPoint itself, the student booklet, I think that's an InDesign file. So if you want to go and edit that in Adobe, you can do. And then all the games as well as all levels in one file. This is based on Litcraft. If you don't know Litcraft are out of the UK and work at Lancashire University. So let's take a look at the worlds. I'm just going to transition this now into here. So these are the worlds. They're all based on Treasure Island. And we can have a look at the worlds themselves in the next videos. And then I'm going to show you a little walkthrough for your students. Okay, thank you for your time.